I'm probably making all of that up. I don't know. That was just my scrappy
Your
little
best guess,
poet
yeah.
friend that was a poet laureate. Sounds amazing. I don't really know what Andrea was doing other than I think just spreading the good word of poetry.
What were you performing at that you both were there?
I wasn't even performing.
Oh, okay.
Andrea was part of this activist group. They did live performance. They were called Vox Feminista. Poetry, comedy, sketch, music, different ways to get the word out about different social, political issues, which, you know, to be fair, they were preaching to the choir in Boulder, but it was a world that I held similar beliefs, but I had never been in any sort of world of activism until that time period, or people that were deeply involved politically and socially. So I was just there backstage with my friend who was performing and introduced me to Andrea. Andrea and I were both kind of on similar trajectories in different careers, poetry and comedy, and did little random gigs to rock clubs. Neither of us were terribly mainstream starting out, which is also so insane that we met so many years ago and both became relatively mainstream. Like this was like 2001 when I met Andrea.
Yeah,
and like there's no world when I met Andrea that I would be thinking, oh, Oprah's going to be talking about this person one day. Andrea could not have been more fringe.
Why do you think their voice came through so much?
Andrea is so accessible, just really knows how to, with the least amount of words, just get you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have not ever shared Andrea's poetry with somebody that didn't just go, oh my God. And Andrea would always say that poetry should not have to be for people with like college degrees, and it should be reach everybody. And I just think Andrea had an openness and very liberal beliefs, but was never shut down to anybody, you know?
It's interesting that you both shared this kind of similar path as well. You both dealt with illness and facing mortality. Did you guys talk about that a lot?
I wouldn't say a lot because I was also living in Los Angeles. I lived in Colorado different periods of my life. And when I had cancer, I was living in California. I mean, Andrea's been in Colorado for decades. What was really wild to me was after I came through my experience of cancer and the other illnesses I had, I asked Andrea to help me express myself through their poetry because I had all of these thoughts and feelings. I don't have that talent that Andrea had, but I had something I wanted to say and express. And I said, what if I ran these ideas by you and these different thoughts and lines, and could you make something of this? So Andrea and I met down in Austin because the idea turned into a song, poetry and a song. And a friend of mine in Austin, Patrice Pike, a great singer, I thought, what if we all just meet and work on this song coming through my cancer diagnosis and see what we come up with. And so we spent this time down in Austin working on this project.